Oh, hi there again, and I hope you had a good midsummer. All we got now is the winter solstice, and don't get carried away and think, well, great, it's sunbathing again. It's not. You can't do that at the winter solstice, or you might be able to. It's very unusual weather, but I shouldn't think so. Anyway, this is actually a talk for me, so I'm going to make sure it's quiet and subdued because it's for me and I don't want to rouse the neighbours or cause any problems with my imposition. Yeah. Um, so what I can talk about is basically how we need to listen to things or watch things to see what we like about ourselves in that particular experience. So, in other words, if I concentrate on my voice, I can, or say, I can actually hear other people's voices in it, and for the reason of enjoyment, I can see a pattern to it, which is basically a meaning that comes through just listening, nothing else, just listening to the voice. So, despite what we think about words and meaning and interpretation, which always comes afterwards, it never comes at the moment of the actual sound. Um, but there is a way of actually finding enjoyment and interpretation in the actual sound and voice of the experience. So this is because it's like the wind. The wind can have a pattern to it, as we all know, in terms of it blowing hard and it blowing softly and it making noises in the buildings and the trees, and for that reason it has a pattern. It can have a pattern to it, which is very natural and uh, depending on how we feel, it can be very, very enlightening and very inspiring. But with a voice, it's slightly different because we have that experience of the voice inside of us, and we can see the pattern to the voice as being something relevant to ourselves. Now, I want to mention something for myself here because I'm speaking for myself, and that is that we need to actually listen to the voice as a voice and nothing else in order to hear the pattern, in order to hear the interpretation that you enjoy from listening to just about anything, because obviously the voice is a vital part of how we interpret everything around us. It becomes a meaning to everything that makes a sound. And we can do that with faces as well. When we look at people's faces, we can hear the voice, almost. But we can't quite. We can't quite hear the voice. Because the voice, until it's actually spoken, will always be a mystery. It will always be a mystery. But we can actually enhance that by our attitude of freedom and carefree approach. And when we do that, we see that our actions in everything are much freer and more open to our true way of doing things. So, but anyway, I want to get back to the voice because that is actually the because there's something inside of us which actually inside of everyone that tells them how what to listen to in a voice, and that's very important because it always goes away when we forget to listen to the voice. we get distracted and we think, oh, we need to listen to the interpretation, but we don't. We just need to listen to 100% to the voice. And it doesn't matter if they're young or old or weak or strong. We just need to listen to the voice. Whatever happens, we need to listen to the voice. And that will guide us to everything else. That will actually show us what we really enjoy in listening to everything, absolutely everything. So that is all I've got to say. Yeah, and I'll leave it there. I think I've said enough. But it's growth. It's really growth as well. How we grow when we listen to a voice. How we grow. I can try listening now to my own voice. I can say, well, I need to listen to it because it's actually a light. It's actually a guiding light that shows me everything that's meaningless and meaningful, because it chooses the words for me. It chooses the brilliance of the day, and it makes them something which is the trumpets of tomorrow. Yeah, it's really good for that reason. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'll see you later and have a good evening. Right, bye.